Oh, they ain't tell y'all? You tuning into the best morning show on the globe. It's Bradham and Emery in the morning, y'all. LeBron or Jordan, either one when I'm performing. Crossover, buzzer beater and I'm scoring. Bradham and Emery in the morning. Every play they on it. Every day I'm balling. Who's the coach? Who's the GOAT? Like Brady and Belichick, best show on the globe. And they embellish it. Y'all pin Zippy, I'm Ken Griffey or maybe Mahomes. I stay in the zone, whether man to man or play in the zone. They can't stop me. Mayweather boxing, Curry with the shot, man. We just the best to be. Can we have our SB, please? This was meant to be. Every morning with Bradham and Emery.
This is the vibe. This is the vibe right now, my face. Because I can't sit here and come on here and hit you with the yes, sir. I can't hit you with the energy. Because I don't really have a lot of energy to give right now. Because just like the rest of you out there, I don't know what I'm watching. I don't know what's happening. I don't know why this is happening. I don't know where it went wrong. I don't understand it. Here we sit. I want to start here before we get into Wednesday night. I went on my sports betting app yesterday and checked the line going into today. The Sixers are a 3.5 point favorite right now. We sit minus 3.5, which basically tells you that the experts in Vegas and the people that do this for a living think the Sixers are a 6.5 point better than the Hawks. And going into game 5 Wednesday, they were a 7 point favorite at home. Going into game 4, Atlanta, they were about a 5.5 point favorite at Atlanta. They've been favored in every game.
No. The game 4 ballooned. It ballooned big time. By tip off, I think it was 7.
Okay, so even more. So you're talking to me about a team that was favored significantly in every game they've played this series. These people do this for a living. When they set a line, the lines are there for a reason. The lines are there to tell us what they think of both squads. And the Sixers have been a significant favorite in every game they have played this series. Game 1, the Sixers were down by 26 points and narrowly came back to win that game. They didn't win the game.
Let me put a little bit of reference on what you just said. If the odds makers were not good at their jobs, they wouldn't be building new towers at every casino every year.
Right. Game 1, they were down by 26 points. Came back. Didn't win. Game 5, they were up by 26 points and blew a significant lead and lost the game. I've been a Philadelphia sports fan my entire life. And that is, and I think a lot of people made this reference, and it's literally the first thing I thought of. It was Ronnie Barber running down the sideline at the last game of that. That's how I felt watching that game. But people are saying that was worse. I feel like, to me, this was worse. And the reason why it's worse for me, because this was a slow bleed. You saw this happening before you, and you're watching it dwindle and dwindle and dwindle, and watching the avalanche happen, and nothing you could do about to stop it. With the Bucks game, you had that great start, but pretty much everything after that was bad. Sixers were dominating this team for basically 3 quarters. They were dominating this team. And this is not just the first time this happened. This is the second time this happened. We went through the same thing basically Monday night in a lesser scale. Even though 18 points doesn't seem like a scale, but it is compared to 26 at home in your building. There were so many ways to think of how this happened and why this happened. But, you can't start this conversation without 12 and 25. You just can't. Tobias Harris, who has had a great season, had a great first round, played pretty well the first couple games of the series, has been non-existent game 4 and game 5. And especially comes like game 5 when you score a whopping 4 points in a playoff game and you're being paid all of that money as a max player. That's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. It's inexcusable. It just can't happen. You can't be out here scoring 4 points in an NBA playoff game, game 5, when you're supposed to be the second best scorer on your team. That's your job. You have to be. What have I always said this year about Tobias Harris? The reason why Ben Simmons can play the way Ben Simmons plays is the growth and maturity of Tobias Harris being that second scorer next to Joel Embiid. So now it gives Simmons the opportunity to be hopefully the third scorer, which that's not happening either, but hopefully the third scorer, and letting Tobias Harris be that second guy, the second play, the second end of the game closer, the ball screen guy with Joel. All of that stuff needed to happen. He was non-existent. Non-existent. In the second half of that game, only 2 guys from your team scored baskets. Joel Embiid and Steph Curry. How is that humanly possible? So, Tobias Harris. And then there's our point guard. Our point guard who is supposed to be the organizer, the galvanizer of this team. He's supposed to be the guy that brings this all together. He's supposed to be the guy that you can count on at the end of games to lead your team. But how can you count on someone to be there in the games and lead your team when he can't even be used as an asset at the end of the games because he can't do the simplest of simplest things that any basketball player should be able to do? Do you realize that Ben Simmons is making history in all the wrong ways this series? Ben Simmons is the first guard in NBA history to miss 10 free throws in a game. He missed 10 free throws in a game. The only guard in NBA history to ever do that. It's not good. He was not a great free throw shooter during the regular season. He shot about, I think, somewhere in the 57 to 60% range. I wish he would shoot that now. I'm begging for 60%. If he hit 6%, they win that game. If he hits 8 out of 14, they win the game. But no, he gets 4 out of 14. And not only is he missing the free throws, you see the body language. You see the look at the panic. He doesn't even want to go to the line. That's why. And first of all, okay. So when we talk about Ben Simmons, what have I said and been consistent saying this entire season? We need to look at the Magic Johnson, LeBron James comparisons. That's not happening. He's not going to be a 28-point scorer. That's not who he is. That's not who he wants to be. Ben needs to be in the 16 to 19 pocket. That's where we want him to be. If he's there, we are fine. Everything's fine. 4 shots, bro. 4 shots. 4 shots. That's all you can muster up is 4 shot opportunities. And why? It's simple math. He's not taking these shots because he doesn't want to go to the line. And the way he plays basketball is he attacks the rim. When you attack the rim, what happens? You either score or you get fouled or both. Since he can't be a competent free throw shooter, him going to the rim makes 0 sense. So at the end of the day, your most valuable asset, the guy you basically is supposed to make everything go, is irrelevant. You have an irrelevant point guard. When in NBA history have we ever been in a position to have an irrelevant point guard? That's like, I'm going to compare sports. It would be like pulling out your starting quarterback in the last 3 minutes of a game because he can't complete a 2-minute drill. That's absurd. But that's what you have to do because this guy is incapable of doing the simple things. Like, you got 36 points from Steph Curry on Wednesday night. If you get 36 points from Steph Curry, you should be winning by 30. And the last phase of this, and listen, he played much better, but Joel Embiid's got to be called to the carpet too, because as great as he played the first half and in the third quarter, he was also non-existent in the fourth quarter. He made I think one shot in the fourth quarter. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. You are the best player on the team. 37 wasn't good enough. Let's go back to Game 5 in Brooklyn. You see what KD did? See what the Slim Reaper did? He closed. He finished. And you're the best player on this team. You are expected to close and finish. And you didn't do that. So here we sit. Now all of a sudden, a team that this series should be over. It should be over. Like, you look at the Hawks' faces. The Hawks were not a team that was when they were coming back and they were playing like they were playing and they were getting back themselves in the game. They weren't looking like a confident team. They looked like a surprise, shock team. Like, are we really about to come back and win this game? Nobody on that team could believe what was happening. They weren't like, yeah, this is what we do. They were like, all right, guys, let's do this. We're going to do it. The Sixers melted. They fell apart. They were an ice cream cone on a hot summer day outside. They fell completely apart. They melted. They choked. And, we brought up 2019 Toronto. This is worse. Because at least in that series, even though, it ended up being a 7-game series, each game basically was a pick 'em. No one knew if the Sixers were as good as Toronto until they played Toronto. And then you realize they are as good as this team. We knew going into the series, this team was a better team than Atlanta Hawks. We knew that. We've known that this whole series. This whole series, they have been the better team. Not even close. They still are the better team. Like, if you think about it, they still should go into Atlanta tonight, win Game 6, come home, win Game 7. But am I going to go out there and pick them to do that right now? No. I'd be an idiot to do that. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen tonight. But I know one thing. I'm frustrated, I'm fed up, and I'm tired.
So, Simmons shot 61.3% for the season. And that's after shooting 67% pre-All-Star break. So that just tells you how bad he was in the second half to drop his percentage almost 5 points.
Right.
In the second half of the season. He shot 4 for 14 from the foul line. Okay. Now, I have not shot a basketball since November 2019. Okay. I went out yesterday and I hit 6 of 14 just right out the gate. I wanted to see if I could hit better than 4 of 14, and without shooting a ball in nearly 2 years, not even picking a basketball up, I hit 6 of 14. So if they want to offer me a max contract, I'm available. I'm available and willing. I don't know about the physical, but I don't have to take a physical. I'll waive all rights to play it for that max deal. So that's number one. You talked about the Rondé Barber Buccaneers-Eagles game. That's up there as a top 3 to 5 loss in my lifetime all time. Watching Ryan Howard roll around on the field after a 1-0 loss, Game 5 to the Cardinals in 2011, that's up there. And this loss on Wednesday night ranks up there with them as well. You blew a 26-point lead. The Sixers were flexing on the Hawks in the second half. Or I'm sorry, in the second quarter. When they just started ballooning up and up and up and up and more and more and more. 18, 21, 23, 26. The lead just kept getting bigger and bigger. That was the Sixers showing the Hawks, you don't belong in the same gym as us. Yeah, we're in Game 5. This should be the closeout game. But you don't belong on the same floor as us. And you know what Trae Young did? He went in at halftime And you know that meme of LeBron? It started out with LeBron, of where he's at the press conference and they have the cigarette hanging out of his mouth, and it's like, not in this and that. It doesn't matter. Trae Young came out, did that, and said, you know what? It doesn't matter. Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, the number 1 seed. We're in Philly. Hawks in 7 is what he's thinking. Now, I actually think the Sixers are going to blow the doors off the Hawks tonight, because I think that they're going to – I mean, when has Ben Simmons been ridiculed like this publicly amongst his peers? Never. When has he been the butt of all of the jokes like he is right now? Never. Because every point in his life, in high school, he was the best player in the country. He was the Gatorade Player of the Year. He was the best player in high school. He was, I believe he was the College Player of the Year when he was a freshman at LSU. He was the number 1 pick, all of that. Rookie of the Year. At no point in time has he ever been drug across the coals. He was trending yesterday on Twitter as the number 1 trending topic because he can't shoot foul shot. You want to know what shook looks like? Look at his face when they were intentionally fouling him. That wasn't the face of the number 1 overall pick. That wasn't the face of the second, it's the runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year and 3-time All-Star. That's not the face of that. That's the face of the kid who's about to get his brains knocked out at 3 o'clock in the parking lot at school. That's the face that Ben Simmons had. This series, they're the better team. Like I said, I anticipate them to go to Atlanta tonight and blow them out. I don't think it's going to be close. I know they had a 26-point lead last game. I wouldn't be surprised if they win this game by 40, because I don't know if Doc's going to really play very many bench players this game. Because what we haven't seen, and this is the first time we get to see Doc Rivers do this as a Sixers coach, he's playing for no tomorrow. If they don't win today, there is no tomorrow. So, what are you going to do? I'm kind of annoyed that we didn't get a chance to do this yesterday, because this was on all the radio stations, and they're going to think that we stole what they've been doing. But we've been calling people by their real names when they don't deserve their nickname for a long time. We've been doing this for years. How many times have we called him Aubrey?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are not Doc Rivers anymore. You are Glenn until I feel like you deserve to be called Doc, because the real Doc in this city was in the house last night, or on Wednesday night.
And you embarrassed him, and you to do that for the AI.
Oh, he was sitting there with his people like, these cats suck.
We talking about championship.
So
not Game 5. We talking about champion.
I thought about throwing the explicit tag on this episode because I didn't know what was going to happen. Now I know, if we did this yesterday, probably wouldn't have done that. The 48 hours to let it marinate a little bit, we don't need it. Now, let me take you back to where let me take you back about 36 hours ago, okay?
Okay.
So I saw this tweet come across the timeline. I want to make sure I get the at name right. At Marcus B. Tweetin. And it said, "How did we get here?" at 10:27 p.m. Okay? So about 36 hours ago, almost directly down to the minute, because we're here at 10:33 when I'm reading that on Friday morning. And I'm going to say something that is extremely scary for Sixers fans. And your question was, how did we get here? My answer is, we never left. Okay? I'm going to take you back to 2012. Okay? They play the Chicago Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
Derrick Rose gets hurt. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
They got bounced that year in the second round. And what did they do? They blew everything up and went through the process. Because why? They didn't want to be hanging around and getting knocked out in the second round of the playoff every year.
Right.
What has happened in the last 4 seasons? You haven't gotten past the second round. We are in the same exact place now that we were a decade ago. And 5 of those seasons, you purposely lost. So my answer to that is, how did we get here? We've never left. We've always been here. That is my answer. And I have a really hard time killing Embiid because we know he's hurt, but it's not really an excuse because of how well he's played. He put up 37 points. He missed those 2 foul shots. That's not like him. Would those 2 foul shots have changed the outcome of the game? Probably not, because at the time I believe Atlanta was actually up by 3. So wouldn't it have changed the game? Probably not. Would it have been beneficial? Of course. But I don't know if the outcome actually changes from that. Obviously, Embiid is the superstar. He calls himself the MVP, and I'm not here to debate that whether or not because he's a top 3 player in the league and he's not number 3. So I'm really hard pressed to have to bash him, but he came up small again. Whether it was tired or not, it doesn't matter. He still came up small. Tobias Harris, I'm very surprised because he very seldom has 2 bad games in a row. And he did not play well at all in game 4. Tobias, if you look at how he did this season, after having a bad game, he usually has a thunderous bounce back.
Yeah.
Didn't happen in this game.
He was missing easy shot. Like they were you could definitely tell Doc was like, let's get Tobias going with this. Glenn. Glenn was like, let's get Toby going this game. And they were giving him those Toby shots, in the lane, little turnarounds. They were running plays for him. He wasn't making any shots. And in the first half, they're going so well. It's like, okay, Toby's not playing well. All right. But then when things start to fall apart, that's when you're looking at guys like that to step up. We need you. Like, we need something from you. And then, again, with Simmons.
Oh, we'll get. I'll get to 25, but I will be getting to him in a second. So Tobias, Glenn needs to stop putting so many minutes on Tobias with these second teamers.
Yeah.
Tobias and the second team's not cutting it. And I'm not saying it's because
why? You know why he's doing that? Because your point guard can't.
I know why he's doing it. I know what. It doesn't make me okay with it.
Because what else? Because what else do?
What can he do?
Right. Because we talked a little bit off there. The Kyle Neubeck article on Ben Simmons, and he really highlights Ben being the focal problem on their run, which, with the way things are right now, I can't disagree with it. One of the big issues is because your point guard can't play with your second unit. Like he can't, he shouldn't have to run a unit all the time, but there should be times when he's able to be on the floor with your second unit. But you can't have him and Dwight Howard on the floor at the same time.
Him, Dwight Howard, and Matisse, you have no offense on the floor.
Right. So you can't do that. So, and also, you know what? Too another person I'm disappointed too, and we've kind of tiptoed and danced around is George Hill.
No, I just didn't get a chance to get to him yet. Well, save that.
I'm saying we've tiptoed around him a little bit, but he's got to take some heat too, because he's giving you nothing.
He's right now wasted minutes.
He's giving you nothing, and I don't again. I feel like he should be running the second unit. He should be the point guard second unit. But I'm seeing Shake run a second unit. I'm seeing Maxey run a second unit. So I don't know what George Hill fits in here. I don't know what I don't know what Glenn. I don't know what Glenn wants from him. I don't know what.
So I pulled these numbers while you were giving your opening in regards to Ben Simmons. So Ben Simmons, like I said, he shot 61.3% foul free throws on the season. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you a couple guys. Now, this isn't going to be like one of those blind reveals because, we're only talking free throws. We're not talking the whole package.
Yeah.
72.9%. Ja Morant. Okay. Would you take 72.9% right now?
Yes, I would. And honestly, but from a point guard, that's low.
Yes. Oh,
Very low for a point guard, but I take it. Absolutely.
how about John Wall? 74.9%.
I'm in.
How about LaMelo Ball at 75.4%?
In.
Now, here's where it's going to start getting real grim for the Ben enablers. DeAndre Ayton, 75.6%. Enes Kanter, 77.7%. Zubac from the Clippers, 77.8%.
Bobby shooting high 70s.
Bam Adebayo, who did the ultimate disappearing act this playoffs.
Yeah.
What do you think he's at? What do you think Bam's shooting at the foul line?
Bam's giving you 6%.
79.8%.
Bam. 79.
So let's see. Let's go back to some point guards, okay? Terry Rozier, 81.9%. Like, these aren't even the top of the guy. These are we're not even talking top 50.
And
okay?
as a guard, you should be in the 80s.
Like the number one
shooting should be in the 80s.
I'll give you the top guy. The top guy right now, number one, is Chris Paul at 93%. Not really surprised there. Okay.
Right.
So the top guy's at 93%.
Yeah.
I'll give you the 50th, okay? The 50th person is Mikal Bridges at 84.1%. So 84% gets you top 50. Okay? 72% gets you top 100. He's shot 61.3% for the season, and he's shooting half of that in the postseason.
Yeah.
Now, I believe Nate McMillan, is that the coach of the Hawks? Is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he wants to do the hack-a-ben. Like, it's not a honorable way to go about the game. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't want to do it.
Sounds sexy.
He's not in the business of caring about optics. He's in the business of getting W's. And what gets W's for him? Marcus, I'll tell you what gets W's for him. Putting 25 at the foul line. If Glenn came out 2 weeks ago and insulted the fan base by saying that we didn't know basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And then when broached the question if he would take Simmons off the court, he laughed at the reporter. And I don't remember. Maybe it was Kyle Neubeck that asked this question.
Yeah.
It was Kyle.
Because Neubeck came back and asked pretty much the same question after Monday's game. And it was completely different Glenn Rivers.
Yes.
Completely different response, completely different energy, completely different. And because he knows he looks like a fool. And honestly, Ben's making look, because at the end of the day, I never had a problem with a head coach having the back of one of his star players. I've never had a problem with that. I thought he was a little out of line the way how far he went with it, but I understand his premise of trying to be a star player. But your star player is making him look like a fool. And I would hope are sitting in closed door meetings with Ben and letting him know how you actually feel what's going on out there on the basketball court.
Let me
one thing real quick. I want to throw in real quick. Ben Simmons right now, because of his because of the fact he can't be utilized the way a point guard should be utilized, because he's basically in that dunker spot again where he was 2 years ago in Toronto, because he really can do nothing else. He has the same usage rate right now as Joe Harris from the Brooklyn Nets. They have the exact same usage rate. Your starting point guard has the usage rate of a spot-up jump shooter.
Let me ask you this question, okay? I need you to go into the athlete mentality for a minute, okay?
Okay.
Okay. You're Embiid and I'm Simmons. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Obviously yesterday was an off day, a travel day, whatever it was, film day. It was their down day yesterday.
Right.
So I'm Ben Simmons, okay, and I'm sitting in the trainer's room getting treatment, getting stretched out, whatever it is I'm doing in the trainer's room, okay? You walk in, you're Embiid. You walk in the trainer's room to get treatment and everything.
Yeah.
The trainer, for whatever reason, goes and, I have to go get more tape. I have to go whatever it is. At this brief moment, it is just you and I in the trainer's room. No coaches, no cameras, no trainers, nothing.
Yeah.
Do you say something to him? And if so, what do you say?
Listen, man.
Well, I guess let me first. Do you say something first off? Because
I do.
I mean, there's no secret that the players all know that they have to walk on eggshells, for lack of a better term, around Ben Simmons because of the way the coaches and the team treats him.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that Embiid...
he's definitely coddled.
Yeah, there's no way that Embiid doesn't feel that, like... I mean, it might not be in these terms, but he probably feels that, like... It's like when you have your siblings, and you always feel like your sibling is getting preferential treatment from your parents, and you're always like, well, you love blah, blah, blah more than you love me.
Right.
I have to imagine Embiid feels a little bit like that about Simmons. The team loves him more than me, but look at everything I'm out here doing for them. And look at everything he's not doing. So the first question is, do you say something to him full knowing that you may hurt his feelings?
Yes.
Secondly, do you come at him aggressively? Like all right, listen, you try to build him up because he's broken down. What do you say as the athlete?
I don't think that like I'm a person. I don't like to flip out on people. I like to talk to people. I think you get a better job of getting your point across when you're just talking calmly. You can say how you feel, but like flipping out typically doesn't work. So the best thing usually to do is just talk in a calm voice. Say, listen, Ben, I know you see the critics out there. I know you see the articles. I know you see what's going on Twitter. I got your back, man. But at the same time, we got to do better here. We got to do better. We got to figure this out. And you're probably not going to be able to solve this problem now. But like this offseason, I'm going to need you to really put in some work on shooting the basketball. Because you're seeing how it's affecting everything else. You're seeing how this is affecting what we're trying to do. Like, you are directly a reason why we're not accomplishing our goals. You are. I know I can do better, but you got to admit you can do better too.
So the hack of Ben is damaging to Ben Simmons on multiple fronts. All right, obviously it makes him look like a jackass on the court.
We've never seen this with a guard before.
No.
But this is your point guard getting the hack a point.
So like I said, it obviously makes him look terrible on the court.
Like I said, he's making history in all the wrong ways.
It's crashing any potential trade value for him.
Yeah. We were getting into that.
Secondly, do you think this is good for the Ben Simmons brand?
No.
Like, do you think Clutch Sports is excited? Who's it?
Well, I'll tell you, LeBron, if you've watched carefully, LeBron has backed off of him a lot. Like, LeBron used to be, little brother.
He's the Fresh Prince.
He's better than me. Yep, the Fresh Prince. Like, all of that stuff, that's gone. That's gone. LeBron doesn't even talk about Ben Simmons anymore. Like, all that stuff is gone. He literally does not speak the man's name anymore. I believe he's hoping people will forget that he's even associated with him at this point. Because Ben is not... He's not marketable.
I was going to say, this is the only thing that we know for a fact that Ben cares about. Now, obviously, if you don't get to being a pro athlete if you don't care about your craft. You know what I mean? I'm not saying obviously he works out. So I don't want to say that like when we say an athlete doesn't care, we're not talking about like Justin not caring about like, politics. We're not talking that kind of not caring. We're like I don't think he's emotionally invested like the fan base is. I don't really think that we're 48 hours after this game. We're still carrying the weight of that loss.
Mm-hmm.
I heard Ben was trying to slide in these girls' DMs the other day. So it doesn't affect him. It doesn't it doesn't burden him like it burdens everybody. Like Embiid, like if they lose tonight, I don't want to put this out in the world, but if they lose tonight, you think Simmons is walking off the court crying like Embiid did after Toronto?
Probably not.
No. Simmons will be in LA by Monday.
Yeah.
So
after the team meetings and all stuff like that.
he's out. We won't see him again until training camp.
We'll see the videos of him shooting
on Instagram, him shooting threes in the gym with nobody guarding him.
Right.
And all that.
And we'll get that.
So, like I said, the only thing we know for a fact that he cares about is the Ben Simmons brand. And right now, it is being mocked.
Yeah.
And that is part of the reason why I think that the Sixers blow the doors off of them tonight, because I don't foresee, like, Chase Utley. Never heard a peep out of him, but he would eat your soul during the game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, but you never had a question whether Chase was trying or not, though.
Right.
I think Ben Simmons has some Chase traits in him where he's quiet and he has the ability to steal your soul. He does have that ability. We've seen it.
Well, it's frustrating.
But will he do it? And I think that after being embarrassed at home, mocked and booed and jeered at home, pulled off the home court towards the end of the game, we always say we need something to personally offend him. If this doesn't personally offend you, nothing else will.
Yeah.
So I say this in closing. If he doesn't do better, he needs to go this offseason. He needs to go, and his value is decreasing every hack of Ben that happens.
Yeah. You really just hope tonight everybody comes out just pissed off. Now here's the deal. I say that, but I also say this, is that some people don't play well angry. Like I knew, like there's certain guys I play with, I knew I didn't want to make them angry when they played because they were angry, they weren't productive. They were in their heads at that point. They're angry. They're making mistakes. They're trying to do too much. They're speeding themselves up. Some guys weren't like that. I wasn't one of those guys. I played better when I was angry. If I was angry Marcus was a better Marcus. So some guys are like that. I think Embiid's like that. I think he plays better angry. I think Simmons plays better angry too, because Embiid was pissed too going into Wednesday. He saw those Clint Capella comments. He knows what he said.
And here's the thing: is that those comments came to fruition.
Right. I mean, now I will say this. Even though when the starters came back in, they didn't do anything, I also understand the aspect of this game is over. This game is over. Like, what are we doing back in here? The bench should have been able to protect a 26-point lead. And they didn't do that. They didn't do anything. And, like, Kenny Smith brought it up on the postgame show for NBO TNT. And he was like, Kevin Garnett's talked about the idea of being up huge. Like, he used to take off Kevin Garnett used to take off his sneakers and put the ice packs on. And then, like, when a game like that happens, so now I got to put my sneakers back on, get warmed back up. And you know how it is. Like, we've played sports before where, even after, like,
once you shift down, shift in gears, it is hard to shift it back up.
That's why I hate it. Like, when I go play pickup basketball, I hate it to lose because now I'm sitting for a couple games. My body's getting cold. My body's getting tight. And my mentality is not where it should be. I like to stay on the court. And, like, it's the same thing. Like, these guys were, like you said, they downshifted. They were out. They were on to Game 6 in Atlanta. So now you're asking them to come back in and stop the bleeding of a team, of an avalanche, of an absolute avalanche, a downhill avalanche. So, that was a lot to ask. Now, granted, listen, you are superstars for a reason. So, yeah, it's hard to do that, but you're still expected to do that. But the bench was like you said, and I think you're so right. Tonight, that rotation needs to be
Yes.
tight. I want to see any more than 2 people off that bench.
Eight players tops. I want to see Howard, Matisse.
Pick one, Maxi or Shake. I don't know. Because Korkmaz is starting. Yes. So pick one, Maxi or Shake. And that's it. That's it. And have a tight leash.
Yeah. No George Hill.
No.
I don't want to. I mean, I know we don't ever want to see the Hive. I don't want to see. Nothing like. I need this rotation shored up.
Yeah. You need to be tight, and they need to be on tight leashes, very tight leashes. Like out. Like if you don't produce in 2 or 3 minutes, out. Starters back in.
What is the exact letter for the rule of the Haka rules?
The Hackabend?
Yeah. So I know you can and can't do it at certain times. What are the exact?
Do it second. It's second and fourth quarters.
Second and fourth quarters.
And it's up until the 2 minute mark where it has to stop. So usually I think it's I'm not sure if it's a 2 minute window, but I know it has to stop at that 2 minute point.
Okay. Now, is it so prior to that 2 minute let's call it the 2 minute warning at the end of the quarter, the end of the halves.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you do it the entire other, what was it, 22 minutes of a half if you wanted to?
No, I don't think so. I don't believe you can.
Why?
I don't know.
The thing is, I tried to find the exact. I don't know. Yesterday. I tried to find the exact wording on the rule, and I couldn't.
Honestly, I could be wrong on that. But the way I've always seen it work and play out is that that kind of 3:30 to 3:45 to 2 minute, and maybe you can. I don't know.
I know the reason why you can't do it after 2 minutes is because they get shots and possession.
Yes.
So if you just do it after 2 minutes, they'll get the ball. Even if he misses his foul shots,
right? They get the ball.
They still get the ball in possession.
Right.
So, I guess my question is, what's hypothetically stopping them from doing that the whole second quarter up until the 2? Like, what if they just wanted to? What if they wanted to start out of the gate like that in the first quarter? Now, obviously, you have to get to the point of where you're in the bonus for that to happen. You can't just foul Ben the first foul of the game.
And maybe you can do that, but it's a matter of fouls. Like you can't like listen, this did work for them, but it almost was their detriment. Like Bogdanovic spent most of the second half on the bench because he had 5 fouls.
Yeah, but you won't be having a starter like Bogdanovic.
Like the thing is with the Hawks, they don't have bodies they can just throw out there and say, "Hey, go hack Ben."
Yeah, every team has bench guys that they can do that with.
Right, but like the thing is,
start the game with that. But you always have that guy who you can be like, all right, we're gonna get 3 or 4 fouls out of him because
but they're not doing that. They're actually using their actual players to do this. Like Herter had 5 fouls Wednesday, and so did Bogdanovic.
Yeah,
but they're using real guys to do this. I haven't seen anyone random out there for them. It's been all their guys employing the Hackabend. And in the first half, the Hackabend didn't really work that well. Like they tried in the first half, it didn't work. It worked really well in the second half.
You know what stops It's very simple. It's very simple to stop the Hackabend. Knock down your foul shots.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And like the thing is like it went really bad in the second half because not only was he missing free throws way more than he was in the first half, he was missing the free throws. Then they couldn't get stops either. Like that's another aspect of this that doesn't make sense. Is this is supposed to be one of a top 3 defense in the NBA, and they could not stop anything.
You would not assume they have 3 all defensive.
Yeah, like Trae Young doing whatever he wanted to do in that fourth quarter. I don't listen. The Danilo Gallinari thing to me is strange. He has been killing them all series. Every game, he is a key component to them being in that game still. Lou Williams had a great game last night, but he's been pretty much under control. I'm sorry, Wednesday. He had pretty much under control the whole series. But Danilo Gallinari has been killing them the entire series. He's the reason why they extended the lead in game 1. He's the reason why it kept it close in game 2. He's the reason why they came back in game 4. He's a huge reason why they came back in game 5. They have no answer for him. No answer for him. This is the best Danilo Gallinari I've seen perform since his Denver Nugget days. But he looks like a starter right now. And you look at everyone else. Collins had a good game for him Wednesday night. However, for the most part, Gallinari has been the guy to bring it all together. And when they're getting their doors blown off, he's a huge reason why they end up getting close. Or like I said, in game 1, why they were able to extend that lead. But after game 1, the thing that's really the meat and potatoes of my frustration, after game 1, the Sixers have been in control of every game of this series. Every game of this series, the Sixers have been in control.
In 5 games, they've only played. All right, so I'm doing third level numbers here, okay? Not even second level. We're doing third level numbers here. All right, Marcus?
Yeah.
So, in the 5 games they've played, 20 quarters of basketball. Through 17 of those quarters, the Sixers are a plus 70. Let me say that again. Through 17 quarters, they are a plus 70. Which means that this series, you've only played 3 bad quarters. The whole series, you've only played 3 bad quarters. Now you've lost 3 games, so I guess you can take the assumption and the guess of where the where the issues are. Oh, NBA breaking news. Kemba Walker traded. OKC.
Al Horford goes back to Boston.
I bet his sister loves it.
Yes.
So they aren't getting outplayed. Like I said, 17 quarters plus 70. They get in these 6-7 minute stretches where they can't buy a bucket. And in that stretch of time is when you lose the game.
They're not getting outplayed because they're a far significantly better team than the Atlanta Hawks team.
Yes, better. They are. And that's why they should win tonight. It kills me to say that. They should win tonight.
They're going to ruin Father's Day weekend for me. I just know they are.
And
they're going to ruin MVP Father's Day weekend.
They should win on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you're right. They should win both these games, and they should win both of these games convincingly. But listen, I have been telling people all series, don't worry about it. It's gonna even after game 1, don't worry about it. It's gonna be okay. They win game 2 and game 3. They lose game 4. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be okay. I can't tell you not to worry anymore. I can't, because at the end of the day,
we all need to be worrying.
Even though this is a better team, they are constantly doing things to prohibit their ability to close these games out. And that's the concerning part. And this is kind of like, what's crazy is that, like, we were so excited to get Glenn Rivers in here because he has a pedigree. But one negative aspect we've never had to explore until now is Glenn Rivers' ability to blow big leads in playoff series.
A lot.
He's done it a lot.
So no coach has blown a 3-1 lead more than once in their career. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
How many times do you think Glenn has done it?
I can think of 2 at least off the top of my head.
I gotta add one more.
3? It was 3?
3 times. No other coach has ever been.
He blew a 3-2 lead. The year the Sixers lost to them, the Celtics, and they blew a 3-2 lead to the Heat. So we got that in there. No
other coach has lost more than 1 in their entire career. Glenn has lost 3.
And now you got to add this. Like, if the Sixers end up losing a series, this is part of legacy too.
I mean, Glenn is a front-running coach.
Mm-hmm.
And you have those coaches that rally guys. You know, they just rah rah rah. They rally guys. That's the kind of coach Glenn comes off to me.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the coaches who are the X's and O's wizards, and he doesn't come off to me as that anymore. He used to, but now I get to see it firsthand, and I don't want to call them elementary, but extremely basic changes that the other team does, you don't adapt to.
Right.
And I don't want to. I mean, we've said it countless times. He's a brilliant basketball guy. So I don't want to call him stupid, but like, this is stuff that you learn in elementary school when you're first starting to play basketball. Like, the fundamentals he doesn't have. Like, he's not instilling strong fundamentals amongst the players.
You look at how this all fell apart Wednesday night. It was the beginning of third quarter, those turnovers. The Sixers had so many possessions where they didn't get shots at the basket because they were turning the ball over.
Shot clock violations.
And imagine if this was Brett Brown.
Oh, we'd be
imagine if Brett Brown was doing this stuff.
I mean, it looks like Brett Brown's coaching. It looks like Brett Brown's coaching.
I mean, we'd be all over him. And this is kind of the stuff. A lot of the things that we're seeing, a lot of the things that we're dealing with, a lot of things that are happening, these were things we had concerns about with Brett Brown.
I'm going to make a quick statement, and then I'm going to need to marinate on it because this just hit me, and I'm really concerned about it. Okay?
Okay.
This playoff series, does it look like Glenn's coaching, or does it look like Brett Brown's coaching?
This right now, in this scope of things, this look feels Brett Brownish.
Does it feel like Joe Girardi's the manager, or does it feel like Gabe Kapler's the manager of the Phillies?
Well, Joe Girardi, because Gabe Kapler's winning.
What my point is that this year doesn't feel like any different from any of the last few years with these teams.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
And, we got to change the coach. We got to change the manager. What if it's the personnel? What if we've all been, and I think that we all have been hoodwinked into thinking if I hear Ben Simmons is a superstar one more time, I'm punching that person in the face on sight.
Yeah. I mean,
Ben Simmons is a superstar. Marcus, you're getting a call to come pick me up because I'm rocking someone.
Yeah. I mean, I am like I said, I've defended him, but everything that's happening right now in real time is indefensible. You can't defend it. You just can't do it. So here's what I want to do. We did that, and we had to do that, but now we gotta muster up. We gotta stick the chest out, put the chin up. We gotta talk about tonight.
I'm not watching the game tonight. I've already decided that. No. Let me explain to you why. I'm not. I've said after Game 5 I wasn't going to watch the game tonight, and I'm serious when I said
you can't watch Game 7 because here's a problem. If they win tonight, you're gonna be looked at as a jinx. So I'm gonna need you to not watch Game 7 either.
So here's the reason why I'm not watching it. Is they haven't earned my viewership for this game. And what do I say by that is that if you're going to fall apart the way that you have the last two games, and the clear deficiencies are not getting addressed, if you're not willing to put in work, why should I care about viewing you on Friday night? Why should I let my Friday night be dictated around this game? Why should I give you...
That's fine, but I can't have you watching Game 7 either. You're out.
Listen, I've slept through a lot of quarters in this series already. So
I can't have you at Game 7 because if they win tonight, I can't have you turn the TV on Game 7.
I've given my prediction already. I think they're going to smoke them tonight. I've already given you my prediction. I think that they're going to, I say that this is a 20-point lead or a 20-point win tonight by the Sixers. I think they're going to.
I think at some point it's safe to say they'll be up 20.
Oh, they'll be up. I think it's a 20-point win.
Been the motif.
Yeah, no, I think they'll win by 20 tonight. I think they'll run Atlanta out of the gym.
And that's the thing here is that for most of this series, if you really look at it, for most of this series, the Hawks have not been competitive.
No,
they haven't been competitive.
I mean, 17 quarters, they're minus 70.
They haven't been competitive for most of the series. That's what's so
Like
mind blowing about this whole thing is that
my question to you is, they win tonight, which, like I said, I predict they will win. I'm still not going to watch the game because they haven't earned that right for me to waste a Friday night on them.
okay.
They haven't. They through this playoff, they should have swept the Wizards. They should have ended this game in series in 5 games. But here we still are going into Game 6 tonight. So they have not earned my viewership for this evening based on how they play. Now, my question for you is, are you going to let them ruin Father's Day for you?
Yeah, this is my life. I can't not. This like I committed to be in a sentence here. I'm gonna be sitting here Friday tonight, and then Sunday I'm gonna be sitting there on Father. Listen, they ruined Mother's Day for Amber 2 years ago, so why not ruin my Father's Day?
That was awful.
Yeah. They triple bounced Amber on Mother's Day. So
that was I remember watching that. Like you said, it was Mother's Day. I remember at the time I was living in Baltimore. I was back up here obviously for Mother's Day weekend. I remember standing in the kitchen watching it on the TV. And the shot goes up. Bounce. Boom, 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 boom.
Yep. Yeah.
I remember looking at it. And my whole house just went silent.
Yeah.
I remember looking at my mom and being like, all right, I'm going back to Baltimore. Marcus, within 10 minutes of that game ending, I was in my car.
You were out.
Now,
I literally I stood up when the shot was up because it looked like a miss. Hit side of the
looked terrible. It looked like he was going to hit the side of the backboard.
Yeah, I cheer. Goes to the other side. I'm still like, and it goes in. I collapsed to the ground. I literally fell like a tree. And I was like, that didn't go in. I know it didn't. I had to rewind it 5 times. And I'm trying to break down, the physics of how this even was possible. I've never seen a shot. I don't want to go back there. I don't want to go back there again. It's already been bad enough day. We're gonna go back there then. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna be front and center tonight. I gotta. That's who I am. I'll be there front and center.
I'll be tracking the score on my phone. I won't be, what's the word I'm looking for? Unattached like Ben Simmons is. I'll be attached to it, but I won't be watching. It's not worth doesn't deserve TVA. Let's just put it like that. It doesn't deserve TVA. You know what deserves TVA? HGTV. They lost out to HGTV on TVA.
Okay. All right.
Actually, no, I lied. Golden Knights will be on TVA.
Okay. All right.
Forgot they play tonight. Golden Knights game 3 tonight, 9:00. They're in Canada. First time a U.S. hockey team is playing in Canada this season.
Nice.
That's
so you believe that the Sixers blow them out tonight?
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be wire to wire smackdown.
Like we said, some guys are better angry. I think Embiid's gonna be angry tonight. I think Ben's gonna be angry tonight. And I mean, this to me, this all hinges on Tobias. What Tobias do we get? Do we get game 1, game 2, game 3 Tobias, or do we get game 4, game 5 Tobias? We need that Tobias. We can't have this Tobias we've had Monday and Wednesday night.
No.
Because I don't want to have Seth Curry.
We need the fringe on the start Tobias.
Yes, Seth Curry's been so good this series, but I don't want to put all that pressure on him. But I mean, I'll be honest. I love what we're getting out of Seth. I mean, if we talk about a silver lining to this playoff, I don't need a silver lining because there's no silver lining if they lose the series. But something that we're watching that we didn't know we had was Seth Curry being as good as he can be. I mean, I don't know what's happened to him, but I feel like he's finally found what exactly he is as a scorer in the NBA, and it's happening before our eyes. Like, I think he was, people looked at him as just a jump shooter, but now he's like, I can create my own shot here, guys. Look at this. Look at my step back. Look at my feet work. Look at my little runners. And like, if he becomes a guy that you can rely on to get his own shot, that's huge for the future.
He, I'm sure playing with Glenn helps. A little bit. Got some father-in-law to look out for you.
I'm gonna go out there and get it close to 40. Don't mess it up. You know what Glenn does? He messes it up.
Like, we got to move on. I'm starting to lose my mind a little bit, and I'm going to start getting very, very.
Nothing else. I mean, listen. At the end of the day,
I'm going to have a lot of vitriol real soon to say about these players.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we know what it is. They have to win tonight. They have to win tonight. They have to win Sunday. It's really that simple.
Yeah,
like those things have to happen, and if they don't happen, we're gonna have a long week next week. Monday is not gonna be fun.
Like the slug says, Sixers, WTF, man.
Yeah, we're gonna have a long Monday if this doesn't get done.
If they lose this series, I might not show up on Monday. You might be doing the show by yourself.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard one to get through. But listen, I'm gonna put some positive vibes out there that they get the job done tonight, and they come back to the Farg on Sunday. Place be rocking. Father's Day. Joe Elders won't let down little Arthur on his first Father's Day.
Yeah.
And they go out there and get it done.
It's so.
Because little Arthur beat the game, Daddy.
Oh, it's that.
How many shots? Over under on how many shots to give Arthur Embiid Sunday afternoon. I'm gonna set the over under at 3.
Oh, I'm crushing the over on that.
You want over?
I'm going with how many baskets does he make, because I think it's going to be the equivalent. Every time they make a basket, they're going to show him.
Arthur?
Yeah, I'm going 3. 3. What you're giving me?
All right, I'll give you. Okay, I'll give you 5.
I'm still taking the over. Anything over 7 or anything under 7, I'm taking the over on.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm pounding the 3. If I'm pounding the over on that.
All right.
Pounding the over on that.
Got a lot of Arthur shots.
Oh,
Ben, how many shots of Papa Simmons? Papa Simmons for Sunday.
Well, I don't even know what his dad looks like, so they could show him on camera. I wouldn't even know.
I know what it looks like.
I'm gonna say 3 to 4 for that.
Okay.
But that, like I said, they could show.
We haven't really gotten a lot of Arthur Embiid shots, and Arthur's probably what 6-7 months now. So like he looks like a person now. Babies initially, you don't even might see them in the first couple months. It gets weird sometimes. You let the face settle in, the bruising, all that to go away. So now Arthur's probably gonna be seen a lot now. So Arthur's coming out party could be Game 7. He'll have the headphones. He'll have the headphones on.
He's almost a year old. He was born in September.
Yeah, so he's about
8, 9 months old. Yeah,
7-8 months. Yep. Yeah, so he's a person now. Arthur's gonna be out there with the pom poms on. Mom's gonna be holding him, bouncing him on the lap. They're gonna get all those shots.
Oh, it's gonna. Whatever Embiid's points are for Sunday, I'm taking the over.
Yeah, Embiid's gonna get 90 on Sunday if you go to Father.
The highest you can take is 40. I'm taking the 40 in the over.
Yep, exactly.
You got to.
Anything else?
Sixers? No, I'm beaten down for it. Let's put our tinfoil hats on.
Okay.
Let's just put our tinfoil hats on, and I'm done with the Sixers for right now.
As you should.
So we got our guy Twitty from the Twitty and the Brand podcast,
dropping
us our weekly conspiracy theory, and let's get to that now.
Well, it's Friday. Are you looking forward to heading home or to the shore and having that first relaxing drink to unwind after a tough week? Well, for a few years in the early 20th century,
I need more than a drink to get after this game.
Upstanding law-abiding Americans because of prohibition, but that didn't stop everyone, and it left the government looking for creative solutions to keep people in line. What I'm here to break down today is: did the FBI poison alcohol during Prohibition?
What?
The Prohibition era began. The liquor black market boomed almost overnight. The quality of this privately produced alcohol varied incredibly widely. From solid Canadian whiskey smuggled over the border by folks like Al Capone, to Appalachian hooch from a bathtub that felt like jet fuel on the way down. Some liquors from cheaper distilling setups carried health risks from heavy levels of metal floating in the liquor. The lack of adequate drinking liquor eventually led some folks to get creative, and they would essentially buy industrial alcohols like solvents and fuels and redistill them until they got a product a little bit more amenable to the human digestive system. Various law enforcement agencies were frustrated. Everyone was still drinking, and they helped convince the federal government to add regulations about the formulas of industrial alcohols, making these products contain up to 10% of material poisonous to humans. Some historians estimated that this policy would go on to cause over 10,000 deaths by the time Prohibition was repealed in 1933. But the idea did influence some less fatal modern innovations. In our lifetime, the producers of various canned air products have added a bittering agent to discourage recreational drug use, seemingly inspired by these Prohibition-era policies. So while that old story you hear at the party about the FBI poisoning random batches of smuggled liquor might not be true, the government absolutely did.
So, quickly, I've never had a conversation about the government or the FBI poisoning drinks at a party.
At a party, no, but
Party
like,
conversation.
like during that's not the first time I've heard that theory brought up about Prohibition time, because back then, I mean, even go back to like the what was it, the early 2000s, go back pre-cell phone video time.
Yeah.
Government officials, authority figures, police officers, et cetera, they just think about all the things that like the CIA did in like the 30s and 40s. Think about like
I did in the 80s.
I was gonna say, like I'm going back to like Prohibition times. The
Right.
FBI, like
The CIA.
there is so much that we don't know that they've done
right.
over the years to the American citizens.
Mm-hmm.
That I have no doubt. Like, I don't know if this is true or not, but I have no doubt that, I mean, I have pre-legalization, I have watched the authorities light whole fields of plants on fire before. Just light the whole field on fire just because.
Yeah.
So I have no, like, believing that. I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, but where does it fall on the believability scale? It is all the way in the believability factor.
When it comes to the government, nothing's off the table.
No.
Well, you can't take anything off the table. Anything that anyone says about the government, I'm willing to listen. And because, like, it's a history in this country of the government not being forthcoming and forthright with the American people.
I mean, think about it. That during a pandemic, they were like, okay, let's tell everybody about UFOs.
Right.
Like, let's get the UFO stuff out now while it'll be like back page news.
Right.
They dropped this in 2018. It'll be on every single news media. I would come up here with whole segments about aliens, and I would just make you listen to it.
Yeah.
Whole segments about it.
Yeah, it's just obviously just too much other stuff going on where that's not a focal point. But
no. So
not unbelievable.
And I mean, you hear all the time about people huffing aerosols all the time. So like that's highly believable one, Twitty, this week. Highly believable one.
Yes. All right, so listen. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here. I can't say this has been an enjoyable experience.
No, I mean, I always enjoy doing a show with you, but I don't always enjoy the topics.
Yeah, this was not something I was not looking forward to. Hopefully tonight Sixers can get it done. Follow me at Mark Tweeting everywhere. At
Justin Emery Show on the Bluebird app. Keep an eye out for us over the weekend. If with a capital I, capital F asterisk next to it, they lose tonight's game, there may be some emergency potting going on.
Yes.
So just keep your eye out.
With some special guests. We're gonna have. This might require a roundtable.
Oh, it's not might. It will. Like, we will be friends of the show will be readily available if we need to emergency pod. So just keep your eye out for it over the weekend. See us Wednesday at Beef Jerky Outlet.
Yep.
10% off your orders using promo code Bremy from the Beef Jerky Outlet.
Yep.
Check out Brad and Memory Show to get all of your gear. We're
Brad
going to pay some.
Everywhere.
Yeah, Brad and Memory Pod everywhere. That's Marcus. I'm Justin. We got some bills to pay. Then we're getting out of here for the weekend.
Until next time, you can be with us, be against us, but you're never going to stop us. Late.
Looking for authentic Mexican food close to home? Great news. District Taco has opened its newest location in Abington, Pennsylvania, and they'd love to fiesta with you. Offering Yucatanian fish tacos, burrito mojados smothered in delicious salsa, and crispy sweet churros, District Taco has it all. Try out the newest location or check out their website, districttaco.com, and come back for more. District Taco. Always fresh, always Mexican.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys today about my friends at Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is a family-owned and dedicated to the production of premium quality and gourmet ice cream and sorbet, made fresh daily on the premises using the highest quality ingredients available. Uncle Mike's features over 30 unique delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream cakes and pies. Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream is located at 537 York Road in Warminster and is open all year round. Visit Uncle Mike's and let their friendly staff serve you happiness one scoop at a time.
Justin Emery here to tell you about Beef Jerky Outlet in Langhorne. Sharon and Michael are the owners, and they have the best beef jerky around. You can never go wrong with the maple bacon, but my personal favorite is the honey barbecue turkey jerky. Turkey jerky? Yeah, I said it, turkey jerky. It's getting warmer out, which means grilling season. And what better way to top your meat than with Beef Jerky Outlet's very own sauces? Spicy chipotle, sriracha horseradish, and roasted pineapple habanero are just a few of your options to choose from. Located at 110 Lincoln Highway at the corner of Oxford Valley Road, for shipping nationwide on their website, beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne. Use promo code BREMY for 10% off and say, yo, Justin sent you.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys about my friends at Amy's Pizza. Amy has a plethora of pizzas for your munching pleasure, especially pizzas such as Hawaiian, margarita, and taco. Taco actually being my personal favorite. And also plenty more. If it's sandwiches you desire, they've got those too. Cheesesteaks, burgers, hoagies, even gyros. Amy's offers pickup and takeout options. Also, they're available on Grubhub. Amy's located at 332 York Road in the heart of Hatboro. You can call them today at 215-957-1000. Again, that's 215-957-1000.
Every Friday, we're bringing you bits. But it's especially hilarious to me knowing what I've seen happen in McDonald's locations over the years. Hell, what I've done in McDonald's locations over the years.
Hits. Always winterize your pipes. I think that is such a funny...
And everything in between.
Nah,
Oh,
see, it's
God.
the opposite. You don't see it, and he was totally about eating that baby.
We are Twitty and the Bram. We're going to ruin something that you love. New episodes weekly on all your favorite podcast streamers.